This is Legend League, the highest rank on chess.com, and an achievement so hard to get that less than 1% of players have ever even gotten there. In this video, we're going to see if it's even possible for an average chess player like me to climb up every single rank on chess.com and become a chess legend. So I started things off by making a brand new account and naming it Jeff Bezos Gardner. And then I played a few games to get my official chess rating, which was the same as the amount of felonies I have in the 49 states of America. Anyways, after that game, we finally got our official chess league rating. We are in Wood League. And how these leagues work is the top players from each league get promoted at the end of the week to a new league. And as the leagues get higher, it gets harder and harder to get promoted to the next one. But since we were in the first league, things were pretty easy.
Alright, he gives me a free queen there. This guy's not the sharpest light bulb in the cabinet.
But even though things were easy now, as this challenge would go on, my rating would get a lot higher, and it would get a lot more difficult to win in the higher leagues, especially with really sweaty players getting like thousands of trophies later on. But right now, I was just focused on checkmating this guy. And we were already doing pretty well in our league.
Alright, we are now, after winning 2 games, we're now number 1 on the Wood leaderboard.
But as more people started playing, my rank was getting lower and lower. You see, in order to get to the top of the league, you need trophies, and you get these by winning chess games. Bullet games are worth the least, blitz games are worth a good amount, but rapid games are worth the most, being 15 trophies per win.
We're 5th place, but still in the top 20.
Since the top 20 players here were going to make it through to the next league, everything was looking fine. But I wanted to figure out the quickest way of getting trophies for later on, because even though 10-minute games were worth the most, if you ended up losing, that was just 13 minutes of my life wasted. But luckily, that was the only loss I had today, and after winning a few more games, we were now 3rd place on the leaderboard. I didn't have to play any more games because that was enough to promote us to the Stone League, where now only the top 15 players would advance. Our first league was completed, and now we only had 7 more to go. And I literally just won 1 game and was already in the promotion zone. But I definitely needed to find a quick way of earning trophies because after an hour of playing chess and absolutely bullying this opponent, I only had 57 trophies. Over the next few days, I did some off-camera mining and got 149 trophies and ended up finishing 1st place in the Stone League, which meant we were moving up in the world. And don't worry, we're just getting through all the beginner easy leagues quickly because later on it's going to take a lot more effort and we're going to have to beat a lot of sweatier players.
Okay, I think the last time we recorded we were in the Stone League and now we're in Bronze. And I haven't played that many games, so we're not doing well. We're actually under the advanced to silver place.
Yeah, I had forgotten to play any games this week for the Bronze League, so now with only a day left, I needed to get some trophies.
Already up a pawn, so we're doing pretty fine here.
I also pushed up my rating to 1300 in the last league, so my opponents were a little bit better now, or at least they should have been.
Alright, we get another nice tactic here. We just attack his bishop with 2 pieces. He can't defend it. He should definitely resign.
And just a few moves later,
there we go. Our first win of the Bronze League. And with that 1 win, we're already actually in the promotion zone. We're in 9th place.
I technically didn't need to play any more games, but to secure my spot in the promotion zone, I played a few more and got into this strange match.
That's literally a free queen. This is a little bit concerning. Why is he 1400? Oh. He joined 7 hours ago, that's why.
This guy's first experience on chess.com was being absolutely bullied by me, and I think this made him delete the game.
Okay, he just abandoned the game. And we're now already 3rd place. Just like, I don't even know how I played like 4 or 5 games. And that should be good enough to move us up to the next rank.
And just like that, we advanced to the Silver League, where now only the top 5 players will be promoted. And I could already tell that this would be a lot harder.
Alright, so we can already tell these people in the Silver League are already a lot more sweaty. It's only been a day, and these people have already a lot of points here. And we're all the way down in 17th place with 3 points. Now we have to be in the top 5 people, which is going to be a lot harder than the Bronze League that we were in.
But not as hard as us reaching 100,000 subscribers. We're literally only a few thousand away, so if you want to say that you were here before 100k, this is probably your last chance. Anyways, back to the video. And since I needed to get a lot more trophies, I decided that 10-minute games would be the quickest way to earn them. And I don't really know what was going on, but my first opponent just rage quit.
Alright, very nice.
And my second opponent literally did the exact same thing.
And he left the game. Amazingness.
This was absolutely fine with me though, because I was already in 5th place on the leaderboard.
Advancing to the Crystal League, obviously we're gonna have to get way more points to stay in 5th place, so we're gonna play a few more games.
And after only a few more games, and after winning this game, I got my rank even higher.
Alright, there we go. That should be good enough. We're in 3rd place. Obviously we're gonna have to play a lot more, but that should be good enough for today.
The next day I continued pushing trophies, but this will be the day I remembered the quickest strategy for getting the most amount of trophies possible.
I totally forgot the best strategy of how to get more trophies. You just join a tournament.
You see, if you win a normal game, you get normal trophies. But if you win a game in a chess tournament, you get arena trophies and normal game trophies. So basically, this is just a broken strategy that I will be abusing for the rest of this challenge.
Look at that, 11 trophies for that win. Alright, tournaments are definitely the way to go. But 3 minutes kind of takes a long time. I think bullet is best.
I decided to play a bullet tournament to see how many trophies I could get in these 30 minutes. And things didn't start off too well with me losing on time for some reason. But after that one loss, I went on my Sigma grind set and started winning way more and even got this cool checkmate.
There we go.
I continue my winning streak and finish the tournament with pretty decent stats.
Alright, we finished 7th place. All those trophies, though, got us to 1st place. Look how many trophies that got us, 215. Alright, tournaments are definitely the way to go to earn trophies in this.
I had found the gold mine of trophies, and since nobody else on the leaderboard had any arena trophies, it was clear that I was the only person abusing this strategy. Here was our official standing when the Silver League ended, and now we had moved on to the Crystal League, where only the top 3 people would make it through. And this is where things would go from somewhat easy for me to a moderate to severe mental breakdown.
I hate this game. I hate everybody in the world.
But that was later on. Right now, I was just happily grinding bullet tournaments.
Nice, that was actually pretty easy.
Since I could average about 10 wins per tournament, and we got at least 5 trophies per win, and each tournament was 30 minutes, according to my 500 IQ calculations, that was about 100 trophies per hour. And after finishing this tournament, I was already number 1.
First place, baby.
But then I saw something I could not resist. And it wasn't 100% pharmaceutical grade, unadulterated, pure source, lab certified, pure Colombian cocaine. It was in fact this Hyper Bullet 30-second tournament.
30-second Hyper Arena, this is perfect for farming trophies.
I thought that since I could get 100 trophies per hour from bullet tournaments, this would mean I could get 200 trophies per hour from this tournament. But chess.com actually thought of this, and as we can see from this game,
yes sir,
you actually get 0 trophies per win in Hyper Bullet. Luckily, I realized this and didn't waste half an hour playing for the entire tournament. The next day, I think I realized what had happened because I was looking like I wanted to resign from life while I was playing these games. But everything turned out okay because I played a couple more tournaments and actually finished 8th place in this one. This put me 1st place in my league, so my audio is muted so you can't hear how happy I was. The next day, I decided to try out a Blitz tournament, and even though I was in 1st place in my league, I was paranoid someone would randomly push a lot of trophies and knock me out of the promotion zone. But these Blitz games seemed to answer all my life problems, because sometimes I would get wins from my opponents just not showing up to his game.
I literally just got 13 trophies from the game for doing absolutely nothing. This is why tournaments are the best.
And other times, I would just get the most delicious checkmates ever known to man.
What is this? What?
But after playing chess for so long, my brain cell was not functioning properly, so after losing this game, I just quit the tournament and ended the day with a good amount of trophies. Some random person shaved off all my hair, but I was focused on grinding tournaments right now and winning games. Some would say I was addicted to chess, others would say I was addicted to drugs. And while both of those would be true, things started to get a lot harder, because the next day I came back to see this.
Okay, bad news, terrible news, we're in 5th place on the leaderboard, and in order to get into the big 3, we need over 100 trophies. Which means today, no going outside, no touching grass, no eating food, no socializing with any human beings. We only get to do those things if we get into the big 3 on the leaderboard, because this league ends in literally 1 day from now, so I have no time.
Even though I had been Sigma grindsetting all these tournaments, I had been kicked out of the number 1 spot all the way down to 5th place. I played in 3 more tournaments, a Blitz, Rapid, and Bullet tournament, and even after all that, I was still not even in the big 3.
Oh my gosh, how do these guys have so many trophies?
Even though I had found one of the quickest ways of earning trophies, which was just playing in these tournaments, which time control for the tournaments was actually best? Rapid, Blitz, or Bullet? If I played all these games in tournaments, 10-minute Rapid games would give me 17 trophies per win, and the longest one of these games could go was 20 minutes. So that was about 51 trophies per hour, and that's if I won every single game, which was not happening.
Okay, brother.
So since Rapid was not the answer to my life problems, I just went back to Bullet tournaments, which were the most fun and also had a higher trophies per hour. And after finishing this Bullet tournament, I had moved up to 3rd place on the leaderboard.
We got 600. We definitely need more than that. MMV Carlos is definitely gonna push way more, so we only got 22 hours.
And I was right, MMV Carlos did push trophies, knocking me down to 4th place. And for some reason, this guy up here was at 1,000 trophies. With so little time left and the possibility that MMV Carlos could be pushing at the same time as me, I joined a Blitz tournament and knew that I couldn't really afford to lose any games. In my first match, I was doing fine and was even up a pawn in the endgame. The only problem, I had 16 seconds to win. But this was still possible. As long as I didn't blunder my queen, everything should be fine. But after that game, I won my next one, and then I started making a bunch of weird facial expressions. But I was just waiting for another Bullet tournament to start, because those are the most fun and also the ones where I would get the most trophies. And as soon as one did, I joined it immediately. And things were going pretty well, with me getting this guy's queen.
Oh, his queen is trapped. His queen is trapped.
And then I just easily won that game and was totally not losing at the end.
Easy win. I mean, what can I say?
But after that, I went on a pretty good winning streak.
Oh, he's checkmated. Oh, what a beautiful checkmate. And that's just checkmate, folks. We win the game, my brother in Christ.
And after playing all those games, it was enough to push me back into the big 3.
2nd place. You know what? I'm happy about being 2nd. I'm not pushing to 1,000 trophies. I'm not even gonna try to go for 1st.
With 2 hours left, I was pretty sure I was safe in my ranking, and 2 hours later, when I came back,
we advanced to the Elite League. Look at that. Amazing.
I just needed to win 1 game to see my rank and got this pretty inspirational checkmate.
Oh my gosh, we just won in 10 moves. Look at this, Elite League. If we complete it, we get to Champion, and then the top one goes to Legend League.
In this Elite League, it was the same as the last one in the fact that the top 3 people moved on. The only difference was the competition was a lot more sweaty. I literally played in tournaments for an hour straight, and I think I was playing chess a little too much because in this game, instead of taking this guy's queen for free here, I thought I could get a cool checkmate by sacrificing my queen.
Smothered checkmate? Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Anyways, even after the hour of grinding, I was only 3rd place, and this Guido guy somehow already had 100 trophies. These people in the Elite League would not make it easy for me to stay in the top 3, but I kept playing bullet tournaments and winning games in the most skillful ways imaginable. But even after 30 minutes straight of playing chess, I looked at the leaderboard and saw this. Now there were 2 second place people for some reason, and I was still in 3rd place. The next day I was in a cool different location, but my goal was to get either 1st or 2nd place on the leaderboard, because these people above me probably had other things going on in their lives. They probably had real world responsibilities and maybe even jobs, but luckily I had none of these things holding me back. And with this new mindset and me playing a few more tournaments, I was able to secure a pretty decent spot on the leaderboard.
Alright, we're comfortably in 2nd place. This guy in 1st place plays too much chess, so I don't even know if we're gonna catch up to him.
And if you don't believe me that these guys in the Elite League were absolute tryhards, I literally took a break for maybe an hour, and when I checked back, this was the situation.
Terrible news, we're now in 5th place, and we have to push around 100 trophies to even get to the top 3.
And maybe it was the fact that I was just playing way too much chess, or that I was getting higher in rating, but things were beginning to become a lot harder. I was either getting myself into disgusting situations where I was down 13 points of material and wanting to end my career as a human, or I was just getting violently checkmated and saying something like, alright bro.
Alright, bro.
But regardless, I just kept reminding myself that chess was my only purpose in life. Without it, I was nothing, and if I didn't get the highest rank on chess.com, my life was meaningless. And this helped me a lot, because even though I was pretty miserable, I was getting a lot of trophies and was back on the leaderboard.
We're back to 3rd. I hate chess with my whole heart now.
I didn't know if I could keep this up for 5 more days, but I kind of had no choice, because a couple days later, I was back to 5th place on the leaderboard.
No, we're number 5. 600? Oh my goodness.
So I knew if I wanted to get promoted to the next league, I had to find a better way of pushing trophies. My current plan of just playing in tournaments was good, but it clearly wasn't good enough. So the next day I came back with a new plan. I would only play in bullet tournaments, since it was proven to be the game mode with the highest trophies per hour. No more blitz and rapid games, just bullet grinding. And after an unholy amount of games, I actually got a medal for one of these tournaments.
Alright, we just finished a tournament, and I got 3rd place. I think this is the first one we won so far. And even after like many tournaments and that 3rd place victory, we're not even in the top 3. And that's a little depressing since I've been playing for many hours. So, we're gonna just have to play more.
But I knew bullet games were the answer to all my life problems. If I was feeling sad, I would just play bullet games. If I was in crippling debt and depression and my wife just left me, more bullet games. But after playing bullet games for most of the day, my mind was beginning to go downhill. But I knew that if I took a break or stopped playing bullet games for any reason, I would have no chance of catching back up to the people on the leaderboard. And if you were paying attention, you would know that the solution for playing too much chess was more bullet games. So I just kept playing, and in this game I beat a 2000 rated player in 18 moves and then said something totally incomprehensible.
2,000 more like 0,000.
My goal for this bullet tournament was to get top 3, and after absolutely wrecking this guy's life and liberty, I was actually in 1st place. I was able to stay comfortably in the top 3 until I lost this game and then had an allergic reaction to losing.
No.
And after this loss, my mental health just kind of broke down and I was just tilted at this point.
Oh my god. You're not good at the game though.
I ended up finishing 7th in the tournament overall, but most importantly, I had earned a bunch of trophies from my grind.
Oh my gosh, we're not even top 3. But we are top 2 on the leaderboard. Whoever this Pantaloni Vulili guy is, he plays too much chess, alright? And that's coming from me, who is a struggling chess addict.
After pushing over 200 trophies in a single day, all I had to do now was hold this spot on the leaderboard for 1 day and I would be promoted to the next league. Luckily though, this wasn't too much of a setback, and after finding another bullet tournament, we were back.
So we just finished this tournament, which should put us back in 3rd, yeah, there we go, 3rd place. But it ends in 22 hours from now. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to make sure I maintain 3rd or 2nd place spot.
I basically just kept reloading this chess.com tab for the next 22 hours to make sure no one was passing me, and after 22 hours of this activity, I was officially in the Champions League.
Okay, it looks like we advanced to Champions League. Yes, we got the achievement, look at that. And there we are, we're already 4th place. But this time only one person can win in the Champions League. And if we are not 1st place, we are a failure of life. This is definitely going to be the hardest league to get 1st place in, since everyone's going to be competing for that #1 spot.
And just being in this league for a few seconds, I could already tell this would not be easy to win.
Alright, in one day, some person already pushed up like 300 trophies. This is not acceptable. Ting Tong Tung needs to be humbled, and we're gonna be the person to do it. Now, we may be about 21st on the leaderboard with 3 points to our name, so we're gonna have to change that real quick. But for once in my lifetime, I actually had a plan on how I was going to win the second most competitive league on chess.com. And it started with this game, where I was absolutely winning against a 2300 rated player. Simple endgame, I should win this. I was winning. I still cannot believe I fumbled that completely winning position, but back to my winning plan. Since this league only had one person who could get promoted, my goal was to get to that #1 spot on the first day and push my trophy so insanely high that it demotivated everyone else and made them not even try to catch up to me. But I still had a long way to catch this guy in first place. What, Ting Tong Tung is 300 now? Oh no. Alright, we gotta catch up to him quickly. We're not even at 100. Oh my gosh. For my plan to actually work, I would have to get an insane amount of trophies today, or it would give everyone else too much time to catch up. But things were not starting off too well after I fumbled another position. But after that warm-up game, I kind of locked in and even beat this international master. You can't check me, he has 2 seconds. National master, more like you ran out of time there, buddy. I was making a lot of progress. I was already well over 200 trophies for this day, and I even created a new strategy of inflicting maximum emotional damage on my opponents. Alright, we have checkmate in 1. Pro tip, you offer a draw. Boom, then you checkmate them. It just causes a little bit more pain in their lives, which is good. This is what you want when you're playing bullet games. But after finishing up that tournament, I checked the leaderboard and we were still not in first place. So the goal for today is to get to first place, but I've been playing for like 50 million hours, so I gotta take a break. So I went outside, and after barely surviving touching grass, I came back to resume my trophy grind set. And for this tournament, I was doing insanely well, staying in the top 3 spots basically the entire tournament, and was pretty happy. Victory Royal! But then I got matched up against the guy in first place in the tournament, and everything went wrong. This guy's in first place in this tournament, there's no way I'm beating him. The game was not off to a good start, with me already being down a pawn, and with a position in a worse condition than a certain Twin Towers on September 11th, 2000. I'm just losing the game here, alright? That's all I'm doing. And after being violently violated for a solid minute and a half, I was finally checkmated. No, man, please. My position is whack, my grandma's on crack, I'm crava back, acne. This made me go down to 5th place in the tournament, and I literally rage quit and stopped recording after this game. But don't worry, I came back a couple hours later, and this time finished 4th place in this bullet tournament. But more importantly, I had earned myself a lot of trophies from all of these games. And look at that, we are #1 on the leaderboard. That is a beautiful sight to see. I'm probably just gonna keep pushing, since I feel pretty alive and awake. We're pretty well above Ting Tong Tung, so we might push for maybe 500, maybe 600, maybe 700. And now that I was in first place, it was now time to initiate Operation Depression and push my trophies so high that it would demotivate everyone else and make them all give up on their dreams and hopes of ever getting to the next league. And it started with me checkmating this brand new player. This guy joined chess.com 7 minutes ago only to get absolutely beaten to a pulp by me. I need a therapist. But anyways, it was like 2 AM when I was playing all of these games, and I think I was having a little trouble staying awake, but this surprisingly wasn't affecting my gameplay too badly, and was able to gain a pretty voluptuous amount of trophies. 5:35, not bad. It is 2:50 AM in the morning, alright? I love this game. I love my life. I decided to complete my plan the next morning because I was having some suicidal thoughts and actions from staying up so late. And the next day I managed to reach 600 trophies. Then checkmate. And there we go. We're officially at 600 trophies in 2 days. Look how far we are above Ting Tong Tung. I didn't push any more trophies for that day, and when I came back the next day, I saw this. Alright, I think my plan is working. Ever since I pushed up to 600 trophies, no one has even been close to catching up. Because there's only 4 days left and no one's even at 500. I think I'm gonna have to push like the last few days, but right now I'm fine. Right now I was actually not fine, because I forgot to push for the last few days, and when I checked back to see if I was still in first place, I found that Hamdo69 was in the first place spot, and he had almost 100 trophies more than I did. And to make things worse, I only had 5 hours left to reclaim my first place position. But since there was so little time, I really couldn't afford to lose any games, which meant I started off by losing a lot of games. That was literally the music I was listening to while playing these chess games, and maybe it was that depressing music that was causing all my losses, because after losing even more games, I started to rage a little bit. And after losing these 2 games... Okay, bro. I realized I needed to lock in here because there was not a lot of time left, and I still didn't even have enough trophies to be in first place. And if I failed here to get to the next league, all these previous games would be for nothing. So after refocusing, I started to do a lot better and win more games. Easy. I think it was also that depressing music's fault, because after I turned that off, things started to get a lot easier. Yes, sir. And even when I was in precarious endgames against strong opponents, I was still able to get the easy victory royale. So after finishing a couple more tournaments, we were back to #1. Back to first place on the leaderboard. This guy thought he could sneak in. He thought he could sneak in last minute, but no, I was prepared.
I wanted to play a few more tournaments, but after being absolutely cyberbullied in this game, I just kind of quit. I did come back a little while later to push more, and look at all these facial expressions I make when I play chess. Like, this cannot be normal. Anyways, I got up to 800 trophies, and it felt pretty certain that this guy in second place would not try and catch up. And 4 hours later, this happened.
Alright, it says we're first place, and the league has ended, so we should be in Legend League. I think we just have to play one game and it'll update. This guy's getting absolutely destroyed already. And he resigns after 13 moves. Oh, look at that. We're in Legend League. We made it. We made it. After 8 weeks, we made it through every single league, and we officially have the highest rank on chess.com.